The floor is really spaced out right now. We're just continuing to make the right play and trusting in one another.
Austin, it's Brez. I mean, you guys are right in the middle of it. Such a crazy part of the schedule. How are you guys staying up right now? How are you handling all these games in such a short, compact time? You guys are doing great the last 2 days, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, winning helps a lot. Anytime you win, you're happy. But anytime you can come out here and play the game you love is fun. And your body might be sore after the game, might be sore tomorrow. But anytime you get in this arena, or really any arena, and you feel the energy, you're just out there ready to compete and give it 100%.
Awesome. Rob over here. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey, man. Let's play some ping pong, man. I think I got you now. So when we're going to get together, tell them to take that pool table out or put a ping pong table on top of that, and let's go at it.
They put one in.
They put one in?
You let me know when. Yeah, they put one in.
Okay. All right, so who's your toughest competition on the team?
I ain't played nobody, to be honest with you. I'd rather go play golf if we're being honest.
I knew it was See,
I shot a 67 the other day. Yeah, I shot a 67 the other day, so we're hitting the ball well right now.
67, okay. That is nice. Oh, by the way, I know you don't like Jackson Hayes, but I know you're so happy for him on the way he's playing basketball right now.
Oh man, it's a beautiful thing to see, but like you said, we're not great friends.
Austin, thanks for taking the time, man. We appreciate
y'all.
67 big games.
Shot a 69, but that was after about 12 holes.
Oh, man. 30.8. So basically 31 in his last 4 games, 53%.
Wait for a second. 67.
67.
Well, he probably missed a few birdie putts
the other day. Just like on and off days.
You know how hard that is to do, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hillbilly Bogey, let's go.
Anyway, he's good. Crazy. And, by the way, he's good at ping pong. Did you beat him?
We were teammates.
Oh, you were teammates?
Yeah, we came in.
At the Dodger event?
Yeah, at Kershaw's
Foundation.
We came in third. So.
Yeah.
That's
tough for you at bronze medal.
You came in second?
Second title.
Cheated us at a championship.
Pretty impressive. Well, opening thoughts. I mean, the Lakers, James, I'm glad you brought that up. 34 assists, 6 players in double figures. They hit 19 threes. Pretty impressive big game, just the way they're playing basketball when healthy and that ball's moving.
You know, when you work hard to develop team chemistry, and that's something that, a Coach Redick has done along with McMillan and Brooks and the rest of the coaching staff. These guys believe in what they're doing. So when you have a collective guys that believe in what they're doing, you might win a few games without some star players. Obviously, we did lose some, but the way they're playing never stopped. Even when they were losing, they were still trying to play with rhythm, move the ball, get other guys. And it's the others that really are starting to emerge. Vanderbilt, Smith, guys like that. Hayes coming back. You saw what the record was without him. So it shows how imperative it is to have those other guys to support the great players that you have. Luka having always an outlet, somewhere to pass. LeBron now doesn't have to, handle the ball as much. He's off ball. And then if you ever get in dire need and desperate, you always have Austin Reaves back there to make sure that things are continuing to run smooth. So collective effort, they're a real team, band of brothers, and they're playing together.
For me, I'm always excited when a player, a point guard or a guard, whoever wants to, looks for you. One of the things when we play this game, everybody that was on this team, NBA, was a star at one point on their team. They got a lot of shots. They got a lot of touches. And when you get to a certain point, like in the NBA, you become what they call a role player, and you don't get to shoot as much. But when you get a player like Luka, like a LeBron, like an AR, it excites you, man, because you get down the floor quicker, you get to your position faster, and you're ready to shoot. And it makes you play better defense. And right now, playing with Luka, playing with LeBron, playing with AR, these guys are excited. They're excited to play the game because they know at the end of the day they're going to get a shot, no matter who they are or where they are. So that's the most important thing to me, that it makes everybody a part of the group.
And, Brez, how nice is it when you have MVP candidate LeBron James out, Rui out, 2 starters, and you can fill it in with Dorian Finney-Smith and Jordan Goodwin fills that spot, and they hit 7 threes between them, 15 points each. They're plus 24 between them. That's a nice luxury to have.
Yeah, we talked about it pregame. You know, when you're good on the second night of a back-to-back, it shows a couple things, James. You're good. You know, you've got talent, obviously. You got depth. That's what this team has right now. It's so impressive. Here we are, St. Patrick's Day. This team has completely reinvented itself from what it was earlier in the season. Rob, they were struggling on defense. They were not hitting their threes. Now, you know, it's not uncommon for them to hold guys in the low 100s. Yeah, tonight got a little bit away from them, allowing 109 to the Spurs, but, you know, everyone got keyed up with the Vanderbilt exchange. I kind of like that, too, by the way. This team has an enforcer. His name is Jared Vanderbilt. You don't want to go too far and get suspended by, like, hey, Sohan threw the ball at him. He wasn't going to take any of it. He got himself booted. He'll probably be upset about that. That's going to cost him a few grand, but I like the fact that they're tough. This team is hitting threes, they're playing defense, and they're tough.
Who was an enforcer in the writing world during your time, Brent? Were you an enforcer? If someone came in and put their laptop where it was supposed to be, did you knock that thing out of the way? And that was you?
Brad Turner, his email used to be madbt at whatever.
Space is tight in there sometimes. Now, you guys elbowing around. I can see you guys in there,
sometimes the camera guy hits you on the head when you're getting in the scrum. You start bleeding a little bit.
Hey, man, that's one less real nice sweater, too, for Vando. But you know what? It's worth it. I mean, Big Game was watching it. You loved it. I mean, listen, the guy's going to throw a ball at you. You know, you can't let him do that in your house.
It wasn't a playoff game. It looks like we had the game in hand. He said a month ago, he says, look, I'm not an initiator, but I'm not going to back down. And we talked about having dogs on our team. You want that going, especially when you get down the stretch in the playoffs, when, you know, teams are trying to take advantage of you physically. You want somebody who's going to step up and say, not today. Just don't get thrown out the game.
Yeah,
though. That's the only thing.
But, man, you really can't do much, Rob. Can we just do the text and then let's move on and keep playing?
You know, it's a famous line. I ain't no killer, but don't push me. And for me, I think that's Vandy. He's going to go out. He's going to play hard, no basketball. And at the end of the day, you know, you know, this is a word we throw around a lot. You can't get punked. You know, when someone throws a ball at you, you know, that's like challenging your manhood. Yeah. And so I guarantee the NBA is going to look at it. They're probably not going to find Vandy that much. But you know, it's just one of those things you can't let happen as a player because it'll be a snowball effect where everybody keep trying and all of a sudden you snap, you don't put your hands on someone.
But don't throw guys out for this. This was weak. It's so weak. The double tech. They shouldn't even have to go review that. Just double take. Let's go.
Yeah, the review is what was.
Back in the day, they'd be like, cut it out, guys.
Everybody.
I mean, come on. It messes up the game.
There should have been one tech for throwing the ball at him and call it a day.
You know, Brez, you look at Luka's line. He's 5 for 21 for 7. So you think, it's a poor shooting night for Luka. He had 21, 14, and 9, and with a plus 19. So he did his job out there, and he found a way to get to the free throw line. That's what the best scorers, you know, all-time scorers do, right? If you don't have it going from the field, you're going to get to the free throw line 13 times.
Yeah, you know, Kobe was really good at this. When he was not shooting well, he'd find a way to stay involved in the game. He'd get rebounds. He'd find Powell in the post for easy buckets. You know, the good guys, like you said, do have a way of finding little ways to contribute. And Luka, he's had a couple poor shooting nights at Crypto.com Arena. Just a few weeks ago, he was lamenting to me and a couple of their media guys, I'm not shooting well here. You know, I'm new in this building. I got to figure it out. Well, he did. You know, he's had some really good shoot nights there. Tonight, not one of them, but the 14 assists. I mean, that's a catalyst for so many other ways to score. It was impressive, despite the poor efficiency.
Agreed. Look, the guy, he went to the line 13 times.
A lot of free
13 times.
And the Lakers had 18 total. So he was the bulk of that. So, look, if he's not knocking down shots, he's getting to the line. If he's not doing that, he's distributing the basketball. Luka will find a way to be a contributor of the game. If he has a subpar game, he's still going to be contributing somewhat with his size and his ability. So just having him on the floor is a key. Having the ball in his hands, he's such a great decision maker, make things happen. So we like it.
All right, let's hear from J.J. Redick. He speaks with Mike Trudell in the media.
JJ, there are a lot of nights in the NBA where, you know, your one team is going against a team that's shorthanded and that there's just kind of that mental hurdle tonight. Like, you know, Minnesota lost at home, Golden State loses at home. Why do you think you were able to kind of stem away from that and stay locked in on a back-to-back like this?
I thought there were stretches that we played good defensively. We lost, you know, our way at the end of the third, start of the fourth when they went on that run. But the way we were able to generate good offense, and I think it was 48 threes and 34 were uncontested. Just our guys' ability to connect, and Luka leading that with 14 assists, and probably could have had 18 or 19. But to have another game with 30-plus assists, I thought our offensive decision-making and consistency, where we had 4 really good offensive quarters was great.
And then with Luka kind of doing his thing, you also had Austin attacking sometimes on the weak side, sometimes as primary. What did you make of how kind of deadly he was with what he was?
Yeah, I think just the Luka and having Austin as the next passer a lot of times. So when there were 2 on the ball, or they were double, or were in a heavy shift from the nail, having AR there as the guy that can either shoot or create the blender with his thrust on his drives was really good. And then that group that was playing end of first, start of second with Dalton and Vando, just playing out of our horns, our movement stuff out of horns. We got some really good stuff out of that. AR, Dalton, Vando, all of them.
To shift ahead to the next 2, how much will you reference what happened on the road against those teams? Not even motivation, but you had different personnel as you prepare for the Wednesday game against Denver. Looking at that game you guys just had there.
Yeah, I think against Denver, you're going to reference it a lot, because there were things that we did really well that we think we can emulate again, and then there were some things that we didn't do well, and particularly with that game, our transition defense has to be better, and then we have to do a better job of protecting the paint against Milwaukee.
JJ, I don't think you'll play a lot of games necessarily. We'll shoot almost 53s, and 70% will be.
I lost you there for a second. I'm going to play no games. I'm not going to play any games. I'm done.
Feels more like a Mike question than one for me. But the thing I'm wondering is are you guys unlocking stuff offensively in terms of that was always going to follow kind of the defensive part of it, but are you seeing that guys are getting more comfortable playing with Luka, finding the right spots, the cuts, the when to flare and all of that stuff? And is this maybe a harbinger of the things you guys can be offensively?
Yes. And I think for us to fully unlock our team offense, we need to be whole. Again, going back to our group and their responsiveness to everything throughout the season, they generally have done an outstanding job. When we've challenged them on certain things, they've responded. I think Greg has done a really nice job with not a lot of court time over the last few weeks, and really breaking down on film what we want our spacing to look like versus blitzes in pick and roll versus doubles in the post versus doubles from the nail versus fires from the top. Like we've done some really good things against that. And then just if they're not going to double and they're not going to blitz, like our packaging around that has I think been good. And even in some of the games where we haven't necessarily had a great offensive rating, you can kind of attribute that to turnovers and missing shots. I mean, even just the last 2 games, our rim efficiency was really, really poor. I think we were like 10 for 23 at the half against Denver, and it wasn't great yesterday against Phoenix either. So I think it's all going to come together where, we're finishing, we're passing, we're taking care of the basketball, and we're making threes. But pleased with how we're able to generate good looks fairly consistently.